Yeah, I don't want to hear another word about the classroom. I don't want to hear another word about the bathroom until you tell me what you're going to do with the classroom.
Yeah.
Enough.
I couldn't agree more.
But I think...
Well, that sounds very good from Rahm Emanuel, former mayor of Chicago, who, along with Fareed Zakaria of CNN, were guests on Real Time with Bill Maher. And what Rahm Emanuel just said there, he's a Democrat. I mean, it sounds good, but I wonder, was he really like that when he was mayor of Chicago? Maybe some of you in the audience can let me know, because I thought he didn't have a very good reputation in Chicago. I'd be interested to see just how based he was in real life while he was actually mayor of Chicago. Let's get into this episode of Real Time with Bill Maher featuring Rahm Emanuel and Fareed Zakaria.
Okay, welcome to Overtime with the best-selling author and host of CNN's Fareed Zakaria's DPS, Fareed Zakaria, and the former mayor of Chicago and former ambassador to Japan, Rahm Emanuel. And chief of staff, weren't you? You don't think that's a more impressive credit than those other two? Chief of staff of the White House? I feel like that is the biggest job you can have in this country behind the president. Isn't that the gatekeeper of everything, the chief of staff?
It is the gatekeeper, but the biggest job is mayor.
Of Chicago.
Yeah. And then chief of staff is the worst job until you get through it, and then you look back fondly on it. But going through it is
They don't last long. I mean, like, it's so intense, right, that you can only do it for like...
18 to 19 months is the modern average.
Right.
Yeah. Not that I figured that out, but I want you to know that.
But with ambassador, you get called the honorable ambassador for the...
Yeah,
and so you probably get better restaurant reservations with that.
So sensitive, don't you think? Yeah, you do.
And it's Your Excellency from now on to you. Okay? I went through Senate confirmation.
All right, this is from the people. What do you think about Trump's proposed $5 million gold card visa for wealthy foreigners? Is it smart economic move or a problematic policy? I guess I know what he's talking about. Trump wants to sell a visa. You get permanent residency. By the way, we are hardly, I looked this up, we are hardly the first country to do this. Doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. But, you know, I remember...
Yeah, we actually have a version of it. It's called, I think it's called the EB-5 or something like that. So it's fine to do it. I actually think maybe it's because I'm, you know, very patriotic. I think 5 million, we should be charging 20 million, or, you know, American citizenship is worth more than that.
It comes with Ukrainian minerals, though.
But what I love about Trump is he said, you know, you get the green card, but with this, the gold card, you get extra privileges. like what? You get to vote twice or whatever?
It's amazing.
Well, now you're speaking Chicago language.
Oh, Rahm Emanuel saying a funny there. Yeah, Chicago was famous in its day for machine politics and, you know, dodgy voting practices.
I'm for it, but it's part of a bigger package on immigration reform. It's been 42 years since the last one. So I'm not against it, but it's part of a whole package.
I read that the current mayor of Chicago has an approval rating of 6.6%.
Round it up, 7.
So, okay. But, I mean, you were just the ambassador to Japan. If that was your approval rating in Japan, they would do harakiri on live TV.
They would do it at 27.
I mean, what's going on in Chicago as the person?
Look, I mean, we were talking about this a little earlier. I mean, you have also the mayor of New York not doing well. Obviously, other things also here in Los Angeles not doing well, the mayor here. Look, and then you got mayors, like the mayor of San Francisco and other cities that are doing well. So I would say, look, there is a general rule. I had this when I was mayor. Safe streets, strong schools, stable finances. Focus on those 3 things and your city's gonna be fine. We've gone through 5 years where people became way too permissive of culture. They were all, which is why everything's locked up at Walgreens and CVS, and that is a disaster.
Yeah.
And I'll say this about our schools. I don't wanna hear another word about the locker room. I don't wanna hear another word about the bathroom. You better start focusing on the classroom.
And
I agree.
we had the worst reading scores for 8th graders in 30 years. And nobody, not a governor, not a mayor, not a president, not a secretary of education is talking about it. We're all wrapped up. Look, in 7th grade, if I known that I could have said the word they and got in the girls' bathroom, I would have done it. Okay, listen.
This guy sounds like he's trying to run for president already. I think he might be eyeing the presidency in 2028.
We literally are a superpower. We're facing off against China with 1.4 billion people, and 2/3 of our children can't read 8th grade level. So no more about the lie. Wait a second, I'm on a roll for a second. No more. I don't want to hear.
I gave him the light, but
I don't want to hear another word about the classroom. I don't want to hear another word about the bathroom until you tell me what you're going to do with the classroom. Enough.
I couldn't agree more.
But I think, to be fair, this is actually...
I was being fair.
No, this is a huge Democratic Party problem. If you look at Democratic cities, they are terribly run. They have incredibly high taxes. It is impossible to build, so the cost of housing... Let me finish. I'll give you a chance. Cost of housing is crazy in places like New York and Chicago. If you look at Democratic states, you go look at New York versus Florida, okay? Roughly the same population. The budget of New York State is twice that of Florida. What do they have? Streets paved with gold? I live in New York. I pay the highest taxes in New York. You get nothing for it. And I think that is the image people have of the Democratic Party. Lots of taxes, lots of regulation, but nothing gets done.
Hey,
and I think
I live in L.A.
Right. And I think,
Wow, look at these lifelong Democrats dropping truth bombs about the policies of the Democratic Party and how Democratic cities in the United States are run, which is to say poorly and shockingly badly.
Listen, the Democrats have to own this and realize the answer to everything is not more taxes, more regulation. People are fed up of that, and they feel that it isn't working.
The Democrats, look, as somebody who produced the best graduation growth in the country, and we changed our high school.
You were a good mayor. I agree.
No, that's not the point. The point was we changed, but I'll take that. The point isn't the rules. The point is the results. And the party has gotten way too focused on what the rules are. And I do agree with you on this. We have made it impossible to function as a city or as a state, and been so. Take an example of this example here, obviously in LA. It took a fire and a natural disaster to make you realize, you know what, that rule's not that important. In Pennsylvania, a bridge collapsed. All of a sudden we go, well, that environmental rule is just not important. We got to build a bridge. It's much more important. And I think the Democratic Party should take a look at it and say, we're going to be honest, like we did in 1994 with reinventing government. Everything is on the table. Nothing is safe. And we can just look at it and say, that's essential. Those two things get out of here. And that doesn't happen. And that's a fair criticism.
Maybe this is your next Democratic vice presidential candidate, maybe presidential candidate. And by the way, he's also that counts as handicap. You can slip him by.
This gets you handicap parking right here.
That added nothing to the show. Okay, our calls for economic boycott today, where consumers are urged only to purchase from small businesses, likely to be effective in holding billionaires like Jeff Bezos to account. Yeah, I was going to cover this issue and we ran out of time.
I'll give you a boycott.
Well, wait a second. Let me tell. If people don't know what I'm talking about.
There were people doing interpretive dances. They're also, protest to Trump. There's like a whole.
This is something called the People's Union USA. And they have something called today, I got emails about this from people, No Spend Day. And it's against the malign influence of billionaires, big corporations, and both major political parties on the lives of working Americans. And what it is you refrain from making any purchases, either in stores or online, to shun fast food, getting gas, for a full day. I know. That look on your face says it all. You're right. It's so fucking stupid and lame. The idea, right.
Whoever wrote that has way too much time on their hand.
No, this is the thing that's going on today.
It mistakes. This is why I was saying that there really is a movement of people doing interpretive dances to protest the Trump administration's cuts of you.
Well, they're very dismissive. I mean, I have to admit, why not? Why not? I think it is a good idea to buy local. You know, you can start with easy things like food, buying food from, instead of the big, whatever the big supermarket is where you live. I mean, it's not just in the United States, it's here in Europe too. We have the same thing. Of course, the concentration of power and in big corporations is much greater in the United States. Like everything, the United States is more extreme in every direction. But yeah, buy local, buy from local farmers if at all possible for your food. Okay. It is very easy to go on Amazon and buy whatever else you need. And in many places these days, that's probably your only choice. But yes, if possible, buy at a more local level. Give your money to the local economy, not to the massive corporations or the billionaires, as these guys are calling them. I can agree with that. There's nothing wrong with that. That day is going to come some point. You know, it's not going to happen today or tomorrow or next year, but it's going to come in any case, one way or another. There's going to be some kind of shakeup, hopefully. But yeah, I thought it was a bit dismissive of them. Yeah, of course, a one-day boycott is not going to do anything. If you feel strongly about this, then you just change your life around it as much as you can. So that's my take on it. Let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. We're over 6,000 subscribers now. I really do appreciate it. So if you like this kind of content, do subscribe. I'm thinking of doing something big, or what I think is big, for when I hit 10,000 subscribers. So if you guys can push those subscriber numbers up, I'd really appreciate it. And I'll think about what I want to do for the 10,000 subscriber mark. In the meantime, keep watching, and I will see you in the next video.